I'm Lizzie Bean, your host and the founder of Stitch People, where our goal with cross-stitching is to ignite your personal creativity, and our goal with the podcast is to help you make some new friends while you're at it. Today's episode is a really, really great one. I got the chance to talk to Megan Procuniar. I think I said that right. She says like junior, but with a Q sound. French name. I totally understand the interesting last name thing. Megan is from Ohio. She's got 2 daughters, a grumpy dog, and she's a really, really awesome person. It was so fun getting to know her and getting to know more about her creative life and crafting and the craft shows she attends and why and how this all lights her up so much and why she stays involved with stitching. I can't wait for you to get to know her. She's an absolute delight. So please enjoy my conversation with Megan. Welcome to the Stitch People podcast, Megan. Thank you for joining me today.
Hi, Lizzie Bean. Thank you so much. I'm so excited to be here. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. I'm excited too. It's always fun to make a new friend and get to know somebody a little bit more. Especially, I feel like I see people's names pop up, on Instagram and Facebook, but I struggle with object permanence, and especially with little, profile pictures or whatever. It's really hard to remember who's who. So it's fun to get to know people and
I like being able to put the name with the face.
Yes, same.
So you see everybody on the Stitch People community or on Instagram or whatever, but then you can go back and watch the podcast and you're like,
it's so much easier to remember.
Who this is. This is who I'm talking to. Yeah.
Totally. I love that. Well, Megan, tell us, let's start first off, simple. Where are you from?
I am a suburb of Dayton, Ohio, called Beaver Creek.
Okay.
I've never seen a beaver here in my life. This is where my husband grew up. I'm actually 20 minutes down the road from Centerville.
Okay. So born and raised in Ohio. Mm-hmm. Very cool. Very cool. And tell us, where did you meet your husband?
We met online.
Fun. I love that. That's the way. I have so many friends, even family members who've met their spouses and partners online. So I think that's totally great. That's the silver lining of the internet, right?
Sure.
So it brings people together. Love that. And yet you were so close, yet so far.
We were. The funny thing is, I grew up dancing and I was on a dance team, and I was on the junior high team, obviously, when I was in junior high, and then there was a senior high team. And there was also a Megan on the senior high team. And my husband, that was his high school sweetheart, was that Megan.
Wild.
Yeah.
Oh, what a small world.
And he worked with, some of my directors and stuff like that. So,
that's wild.
Yeah, it was kind of an odd coincidence.
Yeah. Well, there you go. You met exactly when you were supposed to, apparently, then in each other's orbits, but not quite meshed until later on. That's so great.
Yeah.
Tell us more about your family. Do you have kids? Do you have pets? Is your, family of origin nearby still?
Yes. I have 2 daughters who I just dote on incessantly, so just tell me to shut up if it gets to be too much. Obviously, my husband, we have 1 dog, Lola. She is a grumpy lab mix, a black lab mix, very grumpy.
Really? That's rare for a lab. I feel like labs are always kind of dopey friendly.
She's a little bit of a mix. We rescued her, so she's always been like on the timid, kind of scared side. But now that she's older, she has like some hip problems and knee problems. And I think we're kind of getting to that point where we're balancing some pain and some,
that can make a doggo act out just to be in a little bit of pain all the time. I mean, I would too, to be fair.
Yeah, I would,
don't bug
too.
me.
I mean,
I'm in pain.
She's not bad. Don't get me wrong. But she is not.
Just a grump.
She doesn't. Yeah, just
love
grumpy,
that.
Grumpy old lady.
How old are your kiddos?
I have an 18-year-old. She's a senior in high school, graduating in a few months.
Whoa! You don't seem like you should be old enough to have an 18-year-old. I'm imagining you'd be like, oh, I've got like a 4-year-old and a 2-year-old. But wow, you've got
no. She's a senior. I'm having more trouble dealing with it than she is.
Oh man,
going to college, going to Bowling Green,
and is that nearby?
It's about 3 hours north.
Okay. All right.
So it's a good distance for her. It's a little scary for me.
Yeah, that's far. That's far. Because you can't just like pop up there.
Pop in there.
A hefty drive, but close enough in case of an emergency.
Yeah, let's hope so.
That's good. Oh,
let's hope so.
Oh,
so that's exciting.
Like bittersweet.
So I've got one graduating high school, and then my youngest is getting ready. She's in 5th grade, so she'll be leaving elementary school and going to junior high. So, big, exciting stuff.
Yeah, exciting times over at your house. Wow. And Lola's just grumping out in the corner.
Lola's just hanging out, yeah.
I love that.
She's taken over my youngest pile of the Squishmallows, and those are her new nap pads. So she can't complain right now.
Love that. Nap mountain. Love it. So exactly. Megan, tell us a little bit about your crafting and your making and your creative life.
I come from a long line of crafters.
I'd love to hear it.
My sister and my brother are creative. Also, my sister is amazing. She can look at any picture and just make it.
Wow.
Regardless of the materials or whatever. My mom is also very artistic. She was a seamstress. She no longer sews, but she sewed my wedding dress and my sister's wedding dress. And like I mentioned, I did dance forever.
Excellent seamstress.
She sewed costumes and stuff like that. My mom also cross-stitched. She was a big-time cross-stitcher. Her mom was a big-time cross-stitcher and also a seamstress. My dad's mother was also a seamstress, and for a while she had a pottery kiln and did all kinds of cool stuff like that. So it's trickling down.
That is so cool. Generations.
So I've always kind of had that
creativity.
Yeah.
That's really, really cool. So did you learn to stitch from them?
My mom taught me to cross stitch. I believe I was 7, 8-ish. Was that first, second grade, somewhere in there? Yeah, kind of seems to be. And it was one of those things I kind of picked it up and put it down and picked it up and put it down. And I'm not a very flowery and teddy bear and person. So I was never really interested in cross stitching that. Sure. And by the time you get to high school, it's that's an old people's
and that's the kittens and teddy bears. That's all there was.
Yeah, the kittens.
Like geese, a goose with a bow around its neck. There seemed to be geese everywhere in the 90s. yeah, not my thing.
But then a few years ago, both my parents and my in-laws were getting ready to celebrate their 50th wedding anniversary. And I wanted to do something special, of course, for my parents. So in turn for his parents as well. Yeah. So I believe I found you guys on Pinterest, and I was just looking for 50th anniversary gift ideas, And I thought, boy, I can cross stitch.
So you found us on Pinterest for 50th anniversary. And had you done that classic thing where you had taken a big hiatus from stitching until you saw it and you were like, oh, get back into it a little?
Yeah, I was trying to think. Prior to Stitch People, the last time I probably cross-stitched anything, I was probably in college. So that was 20 years ago. Yeah. I mean, I just showed my age. Sorry.
No, I'm getting there myself. What did I graduate? 2012? Yeah. So, oh man.
I'm much older than you are, Lizzie. Enjoy.
I don't believe it. You're not. You look my same age for what it's worth.
No.
But
thanks.
So I mean, it gets you. It's a good excuse. It's fun how a thoughtful gift like that is a good excuse to jump back in because it's it gives you purpose a little
something
bit.
Meaningful and something truly personalized. It just felt good, felt right, and
I love that.
So I stitched my first projects. I mean, I stitched a little 2-person of me and my bestie, but then I thought, I can do this. So. Yes. My husband's side of the family, there were 16 people. And then my side of the family, there are 17. Just in our immediate family, so I was I just jumped right in.
Yeah, that's a lot of stitching.
But I fell in love with it and I've stuck with it. And
cool.
I mean, bless my friends. They're always like, yeah, make me one. So, they've kept me busy for a while.
Oh, I love that. Do they have you do their various events, stitch up gifts for them to give to other people too?
Yes. Teacher gifts are always a big one.
Awesome. Yeah.
My elementary school that my daughter goes to, I think we did all of the 5th grade teachers this year between my daughter's class and her friend's class.
Fun.
I have another girlfriend whose children go to a private school, and at this point, between her two children, we have stitched all the teachers from like first grade through fifth grade.
Amazing.
So I'm just like tearing them up. So
you're like the town stitcher. I love it.
Yeah, exactly. So it's fun. I love doing it, and I do sell them now because I've run out of friends and family just to keep making them for. I want to keep going. So.
Oh, I love that. Okay, so you're selling them. What's your process? Do you have an Etsy shop? Do you advertise? Is it just word of mouth? How did you sort of ease into making it more of a income or business kind of thing?
I mean, I'm not making millions of dollars a year on
I'm pretty sure it said every crafter ever.
It's kind of more word of mouth. I am on Instagram. I do a Facebook page, but no, I'm not on Etsy or anything like that.
Cool.
I'm not very technical savvy. So like
it's
the
amazing.
More simple I can keep it, the better.
Yeah. Like today to be, I honestly, I really don't like the fact that to succeed as a small business person in 2023, like you can't just be good. And I mean, business has always been this way that like, oh, are you a great cook? You want to open a restaurant? Cool. Well, there's like management and there's taxes and there's registration. Like there's always business involved. But nowadays it's not just the thing you're doing and business. It's like, and you have to be a professional photographer and a professional videographer and a professional marketing expert to manage your online presence and your online brand. Like it's amazing. And I really don't like it.
I don't either.
Oh, it's overwhelming.
I cannot get into doing the reels or are they called something different on Facebook? Like
I'm not sure. I think Facebook and Instagram are the same company.
They tied together.
I always just repost reels to Facebook, like if I can, which you can't always do for some reason. And
but
YouTube has shorts now. I have a friend, she was saying that like YouTube is trying to be TikTok and TikTok is trying to be YouTube because TikTok you can now do like 10-minute videos, but YouTube is doing the shorts, which is like the portrait. It's just wild. Like everything is everything and you have to be on everything and do everything. That's how it feels.
Right,
I mean, that's not
like,
true.
I'm lucky to get a single picture that is not blurry. Like now I have to make that picture move.
Right.
I like needles and thread. Like what? How is this?
I know, it's crazy. I always wonder like how we would, it's the blessing and the curse because some days I wish we could all stop. I just wish we could all quit social media and be done with it. But then it's like, how would we connect with the communities that we've built online? And how would we connect with potential, customers or even just people who want to connect with you and follow you and support you. So it's this double-edged sword. It requires so much work.
Yeah.
But and
we're really struggling with it with our youngest, as a matter of fact. She's only 11 and she wants to be on TikTok and YouTube. And she was just begging for her own Instagram the other night. And we're like, slow down.
No. I really think the millennials, especially like, because I would say, you're on the older end of millennial, right? Maybe young Gen
I'm
X.
Gen X.
Okay. I was going to say, because it's the young Gen X and older millennials who, like, we had to learn the internet in school. Like, we had to go to the library and log into Netscape Navigator and be assigned setting up an email account or researching. Like, a lot of us didn't get cell phones till high school or college or be on Facebook until high school or college. And I
didn't get my first cell phone, again, showing my age. I was almost 24 years old.
There you go. Well, but still young.
Well, but I mean, that's when, like, you were in high school.
When it starts
I was an adult. Yeah.
Totally. And you had a fully formed, like, sense of identity. I mean, you were probably graduated college and you knew your career and your family plans. Like, I can't imagine being a teenager, to say nothing of, like, adolescent in this time. I cannot fathom it. I always joke with Spencer, like if and when we have kids, I will never be like, well, I was your age once and I know all about it, because the world has changed. I can't imagine the amount of peer pressure that adults feel from online with our fully formed frontal cortex. Like I can't imagine kids navigating it.
Well, and I feel like the stuff, like the stuff that you went through in high school, as far as like the social dilemmas and dating the boys and being in the right group and da 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 da. My 11-year-old is dealing with that stuff now in 5th grade. Like, it is just sped up to the point. If I could go back, I would like to not, double-edged sword. I think I would like to not start her on electronics, but at the same time, that's also how she does a lot of her learning.
Right.
So,
because I also think about, I was totally that kid who used the family camcorder to like make movies and music videos. And I loved technology my parents used to always joke that at 2 years old, I could work the VCR better than them. Like, I think there's a propensity kids have to technology and learning and adapting. And so there's this part of me too, like you said, double-edged sword, where I look at kids who have access to YouTube, just YouTube, like the things that I would have been able to teach myself about music and production and videos and editing and like all that stuff that I was super into as a kid, where all I had back then was like a cassette tape and a record function on a boombox. Now, if I could get like a $20 little, what are they called? Like the inputs where you can like record and have your mics and have your instruments and like do it online.
Asking the wrong person.
I mean, I just see what kids can do these days. I'm like, man, if I had YouTube, I'd have taken over the world. So it's this like, oh.
Yeah, exactly.
But then your kids want to be those YouTubers, and it's like, no, slow down.
Yes, that's the goal right now, is to be famous on YouTube, and we're like, oh, that's not. I mean, it's not bad, but it's
safe.
Yeah.
Like that's the word that comes to my mind in so many ways, just from not only from like a predatory standpoint, but just like mental health.
Life
like
in general. Yeah.
Yeah. Kids aren't supposed to have that big of a spotlight. Oh, 11. What an age.
So
I distinctly remember 11. 11 was not a good year for me.
You remember 11?
Yeah, I moved when I was 11. So that year sticks out in my head. We moved, and I started at a new school, 7th grade, it was hard, but oh boy. Well, you've got a robust family life right now. You're in some really transitory phases.
It is full right now, yes.
Oh man. Well, do your kids craft with you? Do they sew or stitch?
Both of my girls are big into art. Neither of them stitch. Now, my youngest has sat down with me. She's designed her own. She's stitched some Stitch People. The past couple of years, I've also been dabbling and learning a little bit of embroidery.
Ooh, good for you.
She has joined me in that. She drew these really adorable animals, and then she split backstitch.
Oh wow! Memo. Yeah,
they turned out so cute. I hang them up at Easter. So yeah, my oldest, like I said, getting ready to go to college. She's in graphic design.
Cool.
She loves it. She's also one of those people who can look at any project and figure it out in a flash. And
cool. So, what a cool way to see the world, as very attainable for people
neither
like
of
that.
them will sit down with me and work on a project together, mother-daughter time, nothing like that. But
maybe
each on their own, absolutely. Yeah.
Maybe when they're having their own kids and they're needing something to keep them busy.
I enjoyed it when they were little. We could do a lot when they were little, but now they're both
so independent.
Yes.
So, Megan, tell me, are you full-time stay-at-home mom? In addition to stitching, do you have, a day job? Is there?
I am a stay-at-home parent.
Awesome. Love that.
I do. My sister and I take care of my mom also.
Okay.
My dad is still there, but we help him.
Nice.
So,
you said you're like 20 minutes away?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
So
perfect.
My sister does all of the hard stuff with her. I kind of do like occupational and physical therapy with her.
Oh, that's lovely.
That type of stuff. So,
good. That's nice where you can.
So it's kind of a job.
Yeah. Oh, totally. I think people underestimate how much of a job real life is. Spencer and I joke all the time about how we never knew how hard it would be to just like feed ourselves 3 meals a day. or keep the laundry turning over, keep the dishwasher turning over. I mean, these tasks that you feel accomplished for having done them, but then they immediately have to be done again the next day, and the next day, and the next day. And just keeping track of all of that. I mean, and I genuinely mean it. I mean, and especially when you have other people in the equation in your household that you're doing it for, It's just, man, it never ends. And I respect the heck out of it.
Have you seen that meme? It's like, I'm waiting for mom to come home and make dinner. Oh yeah, I'm mom. That's like, I feel like that's the story of my life. Like this whole having to make dinner every single night and keep these people fed.
Yeah. It's
That's
a
lot of pressure.
It is. It is. And then especially I think the more autonomous people get, kids get, you think you have, I remember my mom used to always get after me in high school in a friendly way where like, I'd just open the fridge and eat whatever. And she'd be like, no, I was going to use that in dinner.
That was supposed to be dinner tonight.
Yeah, exactly. Like, sorry, so even the best laid plans, oh man.
Yes, absolutely.
Mom life. It's, I really respect it. But this is exactly why, Spencer, and I haven't jumped into that yet because it's like, we've watched all of our friends jump into family life and we're just like, how do you do it?
It is not for the faint of heart.
Exactly. It's a lot. So we want to go totally in eyes wide open.
Totally worth it, though.
That's what everybody says. I love it.
It's
so great. So tell us a little bit more about your passion for crafting and creativity. What is it you love? Some people, really focus on the giving or the customization or the design process or the stitching process. What is it about cross-stitching that keeps you coming back?
That's kind of a hard one to answer. I with Stitch People especially, I love handing it to the person and their first glance at it and they're like, oh my gosh, that looks just like my mom or my best friend and just, oh, you got their earrings or you got their shoelaces or, whatever it is that makes that stitch special. I love, love, love that. That being said, I've discovered that for me, the process of the stitching, it is really like my relaxation for the day. I can not worry about what the kids are doing or, what's going on at my parents' house, or I can focus on this little project and it's the perfect size. You can complete a person in 2-3 hours, whatever it is.
Yeah.
You have that wonderful sense of completion. Oh, I've accomplished something worthwhile today. And it just allows me to zone out and makes me feel better.
Yeah. I love the word completion because in sharing Stitch People's story and how it came about, it was very similar to what you said, where the teddy bears, the geese, the kittens, not my thing.
Yeah.
And when I wanted to get back into cross stitching, it was just go to a craft store and buy a kit, and they were all huge and they were all teddy bears. And it was like, I don't want to do. And I have in storage various places, all these projects that I'm still not done with. And so I knew it would be futile to just like start another one. That's even if you finish a section or a color, like the whole thing isn't done. So I love that about Stitch People. It was always intentionally bite-sized because you could do like one character and like, okay, I did the dad. Okay, I did the mom. I did the dog. And you can just pick away at it over the course of an evening, a week, and a week. And life, I feel like
feel good about what you're doing.
Exactly. You got to lean into the little wins of, you might have an endless to-do list, but you finished something.
You can accomplish that one thing. I've had friends who are like, oh, now that you've made, that little Stitch People, can you cross-stitch this, I don't know, bunny rabbit on a sailboat for me? It's only going to be 8 by 10. And it's like, I
would be like, maybe
sorry.
If I give it to you in the year 2035, I can commit to that.
Too much. Yeah. I just can't do it.
Yeah.
So I love the size of it. And that's what I like about the stitch along that is happening now too. Just that 1x1 size. That is, for me, that is perfect. I'm able to do that in one sitting and then be excited for the next one that's coming.
And one thing that dawned on me because I've been starting to go live. Well, I've done it twice now because we've only had a couple, but I'll go live on Monday night to stitch the most recent thing. And what I realized when I was stitching on Monday was again, that sense of completion, the difference between it's like a little mini pattern, but you're done with the full pattern. It's over.
Yes.
It's not like some big behemoth project that you're doing a section of at a time, which has its own satisfaction of like watching it come together week by week.
It does.
But it doesn't but it's not finished, versus this little stitch along. You're getting to know somebody in the community, and it's just an inch. It's an inch by inch square. It takes me so far 1 to 2 hours, depending on the complexity, and it's done. And I'm like, aha, finished. It's so satisfying.
For me, with the bigger projects, like if I'm not able to complete a section or, whatever, like if it's not done, I almost get like an anxiety about, when am I going to be able to get back to it? And am I going to miss my counts
at the back of
because
your
I had
head.
to stop in the middle? Yeah. So I love that it's
like, come finish me, come stitch me. I'm unfinished.
Exactly. So I love the fact that I can complete something every time I sit down with it.
I am so glad. Did you submit a design for the Stitch Along?
I did.
I'm curious. Yay! Okay, I know I've seen a lot of names come through, and I feel like I saw a couple of Megans, so I was like, maybe you're one of them. That's good. I wonder what week. I wonder if we've assigned them. We've been going a few weeks at a time. I'm on my computer, so I have the benefit of being able to look it up when we'll get to see.
I was kind of later
design.
in submitting it, so I'm probably at the bottom, closer to the bottom of the list.
Let's see. Yeah, it looks like we've got you in the teens.
Okay,
so well, that's earlier than number 3. This week will be number 4. So I think, you're in the late teens, it looks like, in that batch. So we'll look forward to your pattern coming along.
That was exciting for me.
Yay, I'm so glad. Yeah, it's fun to see, too, what everybody's done. Like some people are little landscapes or little creatures. Can you give us, you don't have to tell us all about it because we want it to be a surprise, but give us a little hint on what we can expect.
Mine's very simple. It's happy.
Oh, good. Yay. Simple and happy.
I think
love
it's happy.
That. Good. And simple is good. That's one thing I think a lot of people love. There's different design styles, and I like to compare it to interior design a lot of the time. It's really, really fun to walk into some, Victorian estate when you're on some tour in England, and every surface is covered in artwork. The ceiling is painted and molded, patterned rugs, beautiful. That's what they call maximalist design. But it's also really nice to go to like a spa that's very sparse and very clean, and there's hardly anything on the wall. And I think a lot of people forget that some stitchers do the embroidery and the florals and the hair and the patterned clothes, and it's just more, which looks really cool.
I know, I love that too. Yes,
beautiful.
I love that too.
But it's okay to keep it simple. That serves its own purpose. And for some people, that's where they find their joy. So
that's where I find my zen.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So here we have stitching is your you time where you don't have to worry about anyone.
Yeah.
I absolutely adore that. And so it sounds like you sort of save your stitching for the end of the day, usually.
I do. Usually, I'm usually with my mom until about 3:00 in the afternoon. And then I come home, and then my daughter gets off the school bus, and I have anywhere from an hour to 2 hours, like before my husband gets home and it's time to start dinner, that type of thing, that I try and sit then. And, my kids are doing homework, or my oldest often working or swimming or whatever. And that's just my little chunk to accomplish something.
That's excellent.
Instead of, vacuuming and laundry.
Yeah. Well, hey, but that is a key. I think it is very productive, personally. I've come to
For me, it is.
That.
And I feel better once I've accomplished something.
Yes.
Then I can get up, and I know it sounds mundane or whatever, but I can plow through some laundry. I can plow through vacuuming wherever it needs to be vacuumed. Or
it's a recharge.
I'm not the best cook, but then I can make dinner and feel decent about it. And
you have to recharge to be able to jump into other things. And I love that about crafting is it is such a recharging activity, whether it's stitching or anything else creative. But because it tricks your brain. I think a lot of us are conditioned. I don't know if it's 90s kids or American culture, manifest destiny, whatever, but we all are really programmed that like productivity. Yes, like we've got to do. And so crafting sort of tricks your brain because you're doing something, but it's like recharging. So your brain's like, aha, we are being productive.
We are getting something done after all.
And yet it's so creatively fulfilling. And, so it's a nice little trick to tell your brain, like, oh, no, we're being productive here, especially when it's going to be a gift or it's going to be something for someone else.
Yes.
Like an extra layer of brain balm. Calm down, brain. We are just fine.
Exactly. Yeah. I do love giving them. Yes.
So tell me, do you, is your husband crafty at all? Does he appreciate what you do? Does he understand the effort and the
My husband
care?
is an engineer.
Aha.
So
What kind of engineer? I'm curious.
Mechanical and computer.
Okay. Cool. Okay. So he's literally like building machines and.
Yes, he is. He can be artistic, but he doesn't think he is. But he is very, we kind of comment, he's very black and white. He is right and wrong. And I'm like, all the colors that are not black and white. I'm the if, ands, or maybes, where he says, the yes and no, right and
Sounds
wrong.
like a good like yin and yang situation there.
Sometimes. So, but yeah, it works for us. And I show him my cross stitches, whether he is excited about them or not. I'm like, look what I just made. And he's like, cool. So
like, you have no idea.
I'm like, yeah.
That's
so,
fun.
But yeah, I do a couple craft shows every year.
Oh, wow.
So he helps me set up and stuff, but he doesn't really care. I shouldn't say he doesn't care for the craft shows, but he'll help me set up and then he'll go home. Yeah. It's not his jam. So
tell us about the craft fairs. Do you go to are you seeking out custom orders, or do you like to make stuff to then sell? What do your craft shows look like?
I really only do about 2 a year because I wasn't really sure what I was getting into when I started.
They're a lot of work.
They are a lot of work.
Yeah.
I made stuff to sell. With the Stitch People stuff, though, it's so personalized, and so I end up not selling so much like off my table, but I make sure I pass out cards to everybody, and I jibberjaw all the time and talk with everybody that stops by, and I end up getting phone calls and text messages after the fact with personalized orders.
Awesome.
I only go to the 2 craft shows I'm in, I should say, are both handmade craft shows, like juried craft shows.
Oh, cool.
I think they're both juried. Because I feel like sometimes I enjoy going to craft shows and holiday bazaars and all that, but I get overwhelmed with the 31 gifts and the Scentsy candles and the I can't think of the word, the marketing.
Yeah, like the MLM style. Yeah.
I prefer to find the ones that are just where everybody's made their own stuff.
Yeah, totally unique.
Where I feel like I fit in a little better there.
Yeah. So have you ever, is the jury kind of thing, do they canvas everyone who's participating, or do you have to submit a specific piece?
I have just had, like, when you fill out the application to go, they request 5 or 6 pictures or whatnot, or your website,
so
or your.
It's a litmus to be accepted into the market. Oh,
yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's how they vet. Like, oh yeah, this is an artisan, this is a craftsperson, hand making their things. You can't just like buy a booth and go. Okay, that's really neat. So I love that. Just a little curation. Very cool.
It's been a lot of fun, and while you're there, I mean, you get to meet so many creative people, and it just really gets, for me at least, it really gets my juices flowing, and it's fun. I think I have my sister talked into trying it too. She's very creative and crafty, and she is right now kind of finding her footing. She's trying all kinds of different crafts and stuff, and I think maybe this upcoming holiday season, maybe she's gonna join me.
Would you do like a shared booth, or side by side kind of thing?
Probably side by side.
Yeah, do your own thing.
She does a lot of. She's also super duper hands on. Like, she is right now experimenting with some of that paint pouring, and I don't know what she calls all this. She made these really neat Christmas ornaments with the glass balls and paint.
Whoa, cool!
I don't know.
She's very experimental. Oh my god!
Yes.
Cool.
It's pretty cool. So
awesome.
Yeah, probably next to each other.
Very cool. Well, you can charm everybody. Like, oh, we're sisters. It's always fun. My sister and I worked at Olive Garden once at the same time, and our tips always were better when we could like lean into the sister thing. Like, oh yeah, my sister's over there, and we're helping each other, and crafty sisters side by side. Buy from us both. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, one from mine, one from hers.
I'm curious. As we're chatting, I can peek behind you, and there appears to be a line of portraits there along the wall. Is that your family, or are those works in progress? Yeah, what are those? I just see like a line of hoops that look like portraits.
So these are my kids every year in their Christmas pajamas.
Christmas jammy portraits. That's so cute. What a great idea.
So I have from 2015 to current, and then I have a couple of their Halloween costumes, my youngest Halloween costumes. I would move the camera, but I would mess things up.
You can see it. For those who are watching on YouTube, you can totally see it there on the left side. So you can see about 4 of them. So I was curious. Okay. Yeah, I was like, they look uniform and they're hanging so neatly. That's one of my favorite things that people do with the Stitch People is, a yearly commemoration of some kind. And it can be really overwhelming to do a yearly family portrait update. But something like I've seen the trick or treat bags or like the Christmas pajamas. I don't know that I've heard of anyone else do Christmas jammies every year. That's such a fun idea.
I buy them now thinking, okay, this is how I'm going to stitch this. And if I do this plaid or this knot, then it'll look like the pattern on the PJ.
Fun is that?
My kids are like, Mom, can we just take the ones we like? And I'm like, no, you can't have the ones you like. You have to get the ones I can stitch.
Yeah. The ones that are going to be fun to stitch, easy to stitch, stitchable generally. Like, let's not do tie-dye, kids. Tie-dye's too much.
Exactly.
Anytime I would get a portrait with tie-dye, it was like, okay, it's just a lot to tackle.
Like, is there a specific color you want, or you mean you want it all rainbow?
Like, okay, here we go. Boy, that's such a cute idea. And do you move them at Christmas time, or is it just something that you have for yourself?
For a couple of years, I hung them as ornaments on the tree there.
Oh, cute.
I think they're 4-inch hoops. But I didn't do that this year.
No worries. Every year's a little different. Yeah, that's really fun.
I made the ornament with our busts on it. That that goes in my ornament storage, and that definitely gets hung up every year. So
perfect.
I guess maybe I hang that one.
Heard of somebody who's going to do the and it crossed my mind as I was thinking at the beginning of the year, how do I want to tackle the stitch along, the little 1-inch squares? And somebody wrote in and said they're going to do it on their fabric scraps and turn them into ornaments. So just have the little 1-inch ornaments all over the tree. I was thinking of like one of those little, those like wireframe kind of Charlie Brown trees you can get. Like, that'd be really cute to have like a really sparse tree with the stitch along thing.
That is a great idea.
The cross stitch ornaments is just such a fun thing.
I love it. So, that's a really good idea.
Well, Megan, okay, I have realized I like to dig in a little too much to the rapid fire favorite things questions. So we'll get started a little on the earlier side so that I can ask follow-up questions, because there's always follow-up questions. So tell me, we'll start simple. Favorite color?
Yellow. I like a bright pastel yellow, like a specific yellow.
I love it. Like a butter yellow? Like that light?
Like when you cut open a lemon, the inside of the lemon.
Inside
like
of lemon.
Nice, bright.
Nice. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't have anything that color right in front of me.
No, I think
I like yellow.
Lemon slice yellow. That's perfect. Yeah. Okay, yellow. It's a happy color.
Yes,
and do you have a favorite dessert?
I like dessert. Yes, a lot.
Just dessert as a category is the favorite.
Yes, I love donuts.
Tell us more. We got to dig into donuts. Underrated, I think.
Where I live, we have a donut shop, Bill's Donuts. They are delicious. They have one called a pretzel donut. It's like a giant glazed donut that's twisted like a pretzel. It's delicious. After college, I moved to Maryland for about 5 years. Fun. And I would go home and visit. And when I would come back, I would bring everybody Bill's Donuts. We have a local pizza place called Marion's Pizza that I would bring, and we have a local chocolatier, Esther Price, and I would bring everybody in Maryland.
That's so nice.
So I have a group of people in Maryland that are now addicted to.
Okay, I have to ask. These are the follow-ups. What took you to Maryland? What were you doing there for that time?
I followed a boy.
That's romantic, and I love it. No matter the end of that story, that is great. That's fine.
It was a great life experience. I'm glad that I did it. I stayed home for college, so I needed to get out and do some of my own growing. And I don't think I would go back to Maryland. I came home, and I'm much happier at home, closer to my family and stuff. But I am glad that I did it. I'm thankful for the experience.
That's great. What a nice perspective. Yeah, it's good to get yourself out on your own 2 feet.
Yeah.
There are things that you can't even anticipate. Yeah.
Yes.
That you just
always
gotta learn
the
to
rule
be.
follower. I was mommy's girl. I always did what mommy said. And I needed to, plant my own feet and do my own thing. And
Awesome.
So that was a good learning
Maryland for the win. And Ohio treats for the win. Okay.
Yes.
Well,
so donuts,
you brought up pizza.
Is the answer.
Tell me about your favorite food. Is it pizza? Is it the specific pizza place?
I love pizza. Possibly more than I love donuts, okay?
Oh boy. Okay, we are kindred spirits. Tell us about your dream pizza. What is the makeup of your dream pizza?
Ideally I like a nice thick crust.
Okay.
I like a good thick crust. Sauce and cheese, and we have a pizza place out here, and they take pepperoni, and I think they just overcook it slightly so it curls up and makes like little cups, and then they put dollops of cream cheese in it.
Whoa.
Oh my gosh, so good.
Whoa.
That's
next
my
level.
favorite pizza.
Okay.
It's delicious.
Cream cheese pepperoni.
Yes.
Pizza.
But the pepperoni has to be a little overcooked so the edges are crispy and it curls up.
It makes it a little crunchy, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I like the crunchy pepperonis. Yeah, I'm with you on that. Okay.
Delicious.
I'm going to go order pizza if I'm not careful. So tell me about favorite things to do while you stitch. Do you like to watch shows or listen to music?
I'm a binge watcher.
Yeah?
I've tried listening to podcasts. I love podcasts too, but I can't. Like when I listen to the podcast, I have to concentrate on what's being said.
Sure.
And if I'm concentrating on that, I can't stitch, where I feel like I can turn on Netflix or Hulu or whatever, and
it'll just run.
Yeah.
And you've got a story inputting. Yeah. That's great.
Well, and plus I tend to watch some of the same shows over and over and over again. I heard
Which ones are they? Yeah, I was going to say a lot of people do. I think there's something human about that, that we like what's familiar.
Good.
Yeah. It's like your friends I always joke with Spencer, my friends.
My favorite is Schitt's Creek.
Oh,
like I've probably watched that 8 times.
What a great show.
I love it. I just love it. And Gilmore Girls.
Okay. Gilmore Girls fan. I need to do that one chronologically because I know a lot of people who are diehard Gilmore Girls fans. And I remember when it was on at the time, like live and new.
See, I didn't watch it then.
I would catch it every once in a while, but I never got into it. So I need to, the pace is a little
it's very quick,
weird for me because people don't talk like that always. So the delivery, like,
I see that.
You know what I mean? So like sometimes I have to like adjust my brain to that style a little bit to watch Gilmore Girls. But I've heard such good things that I'm like, I think I need to just give it a go. So
yeah, I love it.
So we'll add Megan to the list of Gilmore Girls endorsements.
I didn't watch it when it was new and on TV. I didn't watch it until, a few years ago, and it was on Netflix. And I thought I like a long running.
Same
series to watch.
Me too.
And I'm like, well, we'll turn it on. We'll see how it goes. And like 2 episodes in, I was like, I love this.
It is very like wholesome, which is nice. It's like very happy.
It is happy and upbeat. Yeah, it's just
and people being
that's what I like.
People being exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, great. Okay, so we're binge watching shows. I love that. And we've got some of your favorites there. I'm just trying to think through all my favorite things. Oh, I love to ask people about vacation destinations. Do you have a favorite place that you've gone on vacation?
My favorite place was the Bahamas.
Ooh,
is that?
Ooh.
I could seriously go live there. I have my job all picked out. I'm going to be the person that drives the boat from the beach out to the platform where people parasail. Like dream life. I mean,
Perfect.
Seafood every day, crab legs.
Get your second daughter off to college, and then we will come see you in the Bahamas for your retirement.
It's beautiful there.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Oh, when did you go? When have you visited?
It's been a long time.
Well, it sounds like you got a trip to plan.
Right.
You got to get back there.
Yeah, it was probably 2001-ish.
Oh, man. Bahamas is calling, Megan.
Right?
Time to go back. I love that. Oh, Bahamas. Yeah, I could really use
beautiful.
some crystal clear water, sunshine right about now.
I was in water up to, my chest, and you could look down and see your toes. And it was just beautiful. Just everything there was beautiful. The people there were wonderful. It was just, oh my gosh.
Now, what about your next dream destination? Like, of course, we're going to go live in the Bahamas. We'll check that off the list. What's your dream next that you haven't been to?
Today, my dream destination would probably be Australia, New Zealand, something like that.
Okay.
But I'm not sold on the spiders.
We really are kindred
I've heard
spirits.
bad things about spiders.
I have also heard bad things about spiders. And I also saw recently a video from Northern Australia where there's a crocodile on the roof. Like, apparently the crocodiles in Australia can, like, scale walls. And this is new information for me that I don't really know what to do.
Oh, I don't like that either.
No, me neither. Australia seems very, like, naturally dangerous.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, no, I'm with you on the spiders. Not a big fan.
I read somewhere that New Zealand, though, doesn't have any, like, natural predators or something like that.
Awesome. New Zealand we go. There it is.
Because isn't like Australia and isn't New Zealand like right there?
Yeah, it's like an island to the east, I think.
Yeah.
Southeast.
So, I mean, Australia, New Zealand,
Northeast?
maybe we'll shoot more for New Zealand.
Right on.
So.
Okay. All righty.
That's today's
stream.
Yeah.
It does change, does it? Kind of depending on the vibe.
Fairly often, yeah.
Yeah, that's great. Okay, well, Megan, as we wrap up here today, I would love to ask you two things. What does success mean to you? What does it, when you look back on your life, when you're 100 years old, still in very good health, of course. What will you look back on and say, like, yeah, that was good. What does that look like to you?
I don't like to feel like I regret things. And so anytime I can walk away from something, or maybe not even walk away, but it I want to have that fulfilled feeling. That was a positive experience. It made me feel good to see what this reaction was or what went into this. More of like a feeling inside, like, yeah, everybody wants to make $1 million or, get rich off the stock market or something. But
I wouldn't say no to a spare million.
I mean, yeah, me either. But I want to feel good, and I want to know that I made somebody else feel good. I just want to be happy at the end of the day.
Yeah,
that's
to feel like like you said, no regrets, that you did everything you could to make yourself feel whole.
Feel good, and I want to know that I helped make somebody else feel good.
Wise words. And do you have
cheesy,
any? No, some of the best things are, though. I mean, that's what makes it cheesy, is because it's like, yeah. I mean, that's the advice. Do you have any words for? You've stitched hundreds of portraits now, probably. Do you have any advice for new stitchers who are just starting or maybe feeling overwhelmed?
You got to dive in.
Yeah.
You just got to do it. Like, don't worry about what needle you have or what colors your thread is or are or whatever. Yes. Just take that needle, put some string in it, and start making X's. And eventually you're going to look at it and say, I made this. And maybe it'll take another time or two to get it to the point that you want, but you're going to love it once you start doing it.
Yes.
It's just,
here's
just
like
jump
fireworks.
in and do it. Yeah. Just
fireworks for that advice. Just jump in, just do it. Yeah, like you said, get a needle, put some string in it, and make some X's.
And go. Yeah.
What? I mean, honestly, I sound like a broken record, but that is the best thing you can do. Is just,
well, don't you love it
figure
when you
out
see,
so much as you just go.
Yeah, just go and do it. And don't you love it when you see somebody post on the community page or whatever, like, oh, my 6-year-old nephew wanted to do what I was doing and he made this, and there's just colors shooting in every direction and
Totally.
And it's just like, yes, just do it. That's
just do
awesome.
it. Yeah. And it's fun to see because it's a child trying something new, but I don't see anything wrong with that if that was an adult's first attempt at stitching. Like, we've all got to start somewhere.
Exactly.
Make something colorful. Make something wild. Put some string in a needle and go.
Exactly.
I love it. Well, Megan, thank you so much for chatting today. It's been so fun getting to know you.
I've really enjoyed this. Thank you.
Oh, I'm so glad. And where can people connect with you best? On Instagram or Facebook?
I post a lot on Instagram. Yeah,
Okay.
Make You Happy Designs.
Perfect.
I'm pretty positive that's the name of my Facebook page too.
Awesome. We'll make sure to link to that in the description, in the show notes, as they say, and on the blog post, so people can find you and connect with you. Thank you so much for sharing today.
This was so much fun.
Absolutely.
I love you guys. I love the whole thing. I love the Stitch community, everything. It's one of the best places on the internet as far as I'm concerned.
You are a integral part of it. Everyone is. We couldn't have a community without everybody who participates. So
thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
That is a wrap with Megan. Thank you so much, Megan, for chatting with me. And thank you to all of you listeners for listening to these conversations with Stitch people just like you. If you haven't already, I know it's obnoxious and I'm a broken record, but if you could give us a rating, if you could subscribe, give us a like, follow us on wherever you listen to these podcasts, that'd be really, really helpful because of the internet and algorithms and all of that. But thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for participating in the Stitch people community. It's like Megan and so many others have said, it's such a happy place, and that is because of all of you who are there helping each other and sharing and being so supportive, and I couldn't be more grateful. Our jazzy tunes are by Jonathan Boyle, and our sound designer extraordinaire is Brandon Yost. Thank you so much, everybody, for listening, and to the Stitch People team helping behind the scenes. Couldn't do it without you. Have a wonderful day, and happy stitching! The Stitch People podcast is a production of Beansky LLC and Stitch People. Copyright 2022, all rights reserved.